Okie dokie. Let's get this show on the road. Just gonna have a listen to how I'm sounding. Hey folks, how's it going? Thanks for joining tonight's stream. Lovely to see you all here. I'm going to direct you all, before we even begin, I'm going to direct you to the PayPal link. It's very important. Tonight we're raising funds for Barretstown Children's Charity, who are an incredible organisation, and they run camps, summer camps, all that kind of thing, for children who are ill. In some cases, children who are terminally ill. So they run camps and holidays for those children and their families, because I don't know about any of you in your lives and what you have going on, but for a lot of those people, all they need is a bit of a break to make their day-to-day life a little bit easier. So Barretstown do incredible work supporting those people. So please throw a few quid into the PayPal link if you can afford to. Really, really appreciated. Today we are hoping to, of course, pay all of our artists. It's so important that artists can make a living right now. Obviously, we're not on the road and we're not able to sell CDs at gigs, and we're not able to sell a lot of our merch at gigs the way we usually would, and we don't have the income of playing shows the way we usually would. So these live streams are really important for allowing us to reach you guys. So thank you for being here. And so once all of our artists get paid a small fee, it's not a big fee at all, but it pays them for their rehearsal during the week and for their coming in here to sound check before the stream goes live and all that, and then their time coming on to entertain you. So I want to make sure that artists get paid for that. But after all that, everything that we raise tonight is going to Barretstown. So the goal is to make a total of €800 tonight. So fingers crossed that we hit that and then some. Let's do our absolute best. Share the stream, share the PayPal link. It all helps so much, just getting the word out there. So thank you. I'm going to make sure that I'm not missing anyone. So hello to everyone who's tuning in. Hi, Dana. Cynthia wishes she had a cup of tea, but she's still toiling at work. Sorry, Cynthia. Thank you for your work. My cousin Steve is here. Hi, Brian. And Marie. Christina, happy Friday and happy graduation. Congratulations to you. Christina is just finished her degree in the arts. I'm not sure what subjects she did as part of that, but she's just finished her undergrad. So very proud of you, Christina. Hi, Johnny. Rumpelstiltskin is back as well. And Marie. Commander 993 wants to request The Winding Way Down to Kells Bay. So tonight's theme is movies, songs from the movies, but all of our artists are playing one of their own songs as well. So I'm going to play one of my own songs tonight. So you guys can throw requests in. When you throw a request in, please throw money into the PayPal link as well. That is the only sort of stipulation I have. I will take your requests. I'll take them on board, but I do ask that you throw at least the £4 minimum donation into the PayPal link if you can afford it. Hello, Carmel. Hi, Eugene. Hi, Jean-Anne. Thank you for coming again. You're a legend. So lovely to have you here every week. Hi, Rolf and Tom and Clive, Gasm, Dana. How's it going? Thank you for your compliments for my outfit. Quite like it myself. The nice thing with living at home with family is that when my sister decides to get rid of stuff, Brian, the link is up in the description of the video, but I'll throw it in here again just to make sure that everyone has it. And yeah, whichever song is the most highly requested, as in of my own songs, whichever song is the most requested, I will do that one at the end of the stream. I mean, of my own songs, Dana, not just general songs. Here is the link. It's just put in there. All right. Okay. So kicking things off, because I have my first guest joining me very soon. So I'm going to take the headphones off. Oh, what I was saying was the great thing with living at home right now is that when my sister decides to get rid of stuff and put all this stuff in a bag, I get to root through that bag and find things that I want to keep. So this dress was one of those things. I love it. I don't wear baby blue very often. My first song is a request from Niamh Carey, and it says Time Goes By from Casablanca, which is a really beautiful movie and a really beautiful song. So here we go. Try not knock over my beverage with my own headphones. You must remember this. A kiss is still a kiss. A sigh is just a sigh. The fundamental things apply as time goes by. And when two lovers woo, they still say, I love you. On that you can rely. No matter what the future brings, as time goes by. Moonlight and love songs never out of date. Hearts full of passion, jealousy and hate. Woman needs man, and man must have his mate on. That no one can deny. It's still the same old story, a fight for love and glory, a case of do or die. The world will always welcome lovers as time goes by. It's still the same old story, a fight for love and glory, a case of do or die. The world will always welcome lovers as time goes by. Who here hasn't seen Casablanca? If you haven't seen it, you need to see it. It's so beautiful. It's such a great movie. It's a long time since I've seen it. And the soundtrack from it is stunning. Okay, I'm going to do a song now, which was originally done by Randy Crawford. I know it from Moulin Rouge. Nicole Kidman does a beautiful version of it. Oh, wow. Blizzard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 says, I love you. I love you too, Blizzard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Thank you. Thank you all for tuning in. Lovely to have you here, as it is every week. So this song is One Day I'll Fly Away, which, as I said, Randy Crawford did a beautiful job of it. Nicole Kidman did a beautiful job of it. Hopefully I'll do an okay job of it. I make it alone when love is gone. Still you made your mind. in my heart. One day I'll fly away, leave your love to yesterday. What more can your love do for me? When will love be through with me? I follow the night, can't stand the light. When will I begin my life again? One day I'll fly away, leave your love to yesterday. What more can your love do for me? When will love be through with me? Why live life from dream to dream and dread the day when dreaming ends? One day I'll fly away, leave your love to yesterday. What more can your love do for me? When will love be through with me? Why live life from dream to dream and dread the day when dreaming ends? One day I'll fly away, fly away. Whew, I didn't know how that one was going to go. So that was a song that I was introduced to through the musical movie Moulin Rouge. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all minding yourselves. Hope you had a good week. Happy Friday, for whatever days of the week mean anymore. I'm gonna play you guys a song now called a little known tune called "Falling Slowly" from the movie Once. So tonight's theme is music from the movies, which we took slight liberties with, I will say. We had a bit of fun with it. Some songs are very obviously from the movies. Some of them are, very explicit movie songs. And some of them are those songs that, you'll hear in movies in the background somewhere. But, it's the kind of thing that it evokes a mood or elicits a feeling in you. That, music is what makes films so special sometimes. So here is... Oh, Dana, I'm so glad you had a vacation this week. I am delighted for you. You've been working so hard. I'm glad you got a chance to have a break. So this is Falling Slowly. I'm actually just going to grab the lyrics up here because I don't want to forget them. I know the song quite well, but I'm still conscious that there's a very real danger that I'll forget it. I don't have enough self-confidence. I don't know fall through me and always fool me, and I can't react. Games that never amount to more than they're meant will play themselves out. Take this sinking boat and point it home. We've still got time. Raise your voice. You have a choice. You made it now. Falling slowly, eyes that know me, and I can't go back. Moods that change me and erase me, and I'm painted black. And you have suffered enough and war with yourself. It's time that you take this sinking boat and point it home. We've still got time. Raise your voice. You have a choice. You made it now. Take this sinking boat and point it home. We've still got time. Raise your voice. You had a choice. You made it now. Falling slowly, sing your melody, sing it loud. Couldn't do a song from the movies session without falling slowly. Oh, loads of lovely comments here. How are you all doing? Thank you all so much for being here. You're fucking brilliant out here. Hi, Jack O'Brien. How's it going? Hello to you and to your mammy. Alejandro Luzlet. ¿Cómo estás? It does look like I'm drinking a pint of wine, actually. This is absolutely not a pint of wine, I assure you. What else do we have? Aidan Brown, Brian Rowe. Lads, you're all so good for tuning in. Thank you for being here tonight. Ronnie says, geil, wie du lachen tust. Does that mean it's great how I laugh? Good, I'm glad. I hope that's a good thing. I'm going to introduce you guys to our first guest. We have the sensational Megan O'Neill joining us. I'm just going to plug out of here and plug into there so I can hear what she's saying to me. Fingers crossed I get a signal.
Hello!
Do we have you? Yes, we do. Why isn't it adding to the stream?
Hello?
There we go.
Hello!
Nice one. Oh, yeah.
Can you hear me? Are we all
For some reason. I cannot hear you.
Oh, how odd. Maybe will I come out and come back in again?
Nothing. Can we get some subtitles or flashcards?
Huh. Okay. Let's maybe get out of this one. Does that help? Nothing.
Nothing at all. Okay, we'll get Megan back in a few minutes. Oh, they can hear you. Oh, okay, interesting. Let me just check how I have my system set up here.
Back. I'm back. Can you hear me? No.
I think the issue might have been on my side.
Oh. Can you hear me now?
No idea why I can't hear you at all. This is very strange. I'm going to plug my headphones out. Maybe that'll help. But if everyone else can hear you, then that's good.
Oh.
They say they can hear you. Audio output, I should be hearing you. For some reason, I'm not. It's very strange.
Emma and I can just sign language to each other.
I don't know. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand it over to you to play your song, and I'm going to figure this out while you're playing your song. Maybe we can have a chat afterwards.
Great.
Thanks.
Yeah, no sound. Okay. Maybe we can try it on a different device. Would that be weird? Okay. I'm going to just load it on my iPad and see what happens. Because I've never had this issue before. Which is a little bit odd. I don't want to... I don't want to start playing and then I'm going to completely drop out mid-song, which is kind of maybe likely to happen. But maybe we'll just go for it, will we? Okay. We're going to go for some Jim Croce Time in a Bottle, so we'll just see what happens. Hopefully you don't lose me. I know I live in the middle of nowhere, but I actually have quite good internet. Weirdly enough. So this is my take on Time in a Bottle. It's very different to the original, but I really hope that you like it. If I could save time in a bottle, the first thing that I'd like to do is to save every day till eternity passes away, just to spend them with you. If I had a book never seems to be enough time to do the things you wanna do once you find them. I've looked around enough to know you're the one I wanna go through time with. If I could make days last forever, dreams that never come true, I'd save every day like a treasure, and then again I'd spend them with you. But there never seems to be enough time to do the things you wanna do once you find them. I've looked around enough to know you're the one I wanna go through time with. There we go. Hopefully you were able to hear all of that. Yay! Can you hear me?
I can. You might need to put on headphones because I think there's going to be an issue of echo now.
Oh, we can do that.
Brilliant.
See, these are the things when you play a gig that, can you hear me okay? These are the things when you play a gig that a sound engineer has to worry about. And you're like, I don't have to stress about this.
Yeah, I know. It's so I think, I don't know what happened. It's an issue on my end, whatever it was, because everyone else could hear you fine. There's some problem with, I think, the sound card on my laptop tonight, which is super. But now I can hear you perfectly, and I was listening to your performance over Facebook, and it was absolutely beautiful. Really, really gorgeous. So what I have to do is, to avoid a weird echoey thing, I have to mute and unmute our microphones.
Oh, how exciting.
The joys of it. So what brought you to that song? What was your journey?
Actually, it was, so I work a bit with different editors on TV shows and stuff. So if they're looking for like a song for a show, they'll kind of get in touch. And this was a song they were looking for a brand new Netflix show was supposed to come out this month, but isn't now coming out until December because of COVID and they hadn't finished filming. But anyway, they asked me, could I do a take on the song? And so I did that and I recorded it, and now it's going to be in the series. So,
Cool.
Yeah. So that was kind of the journey to it. And then I knew the song from when I was a kid because my mom loves Jim Croce. But I suppose sometimes when you do it yourself, or like when you arrange it yourself, you just totally fall in love with the song in a different way. So
I hear that, absolutely. Yeah, there's something. I saw someone recently talking about painting a portrait and how you kind of feel like, I think it was Shane Gillen, who's kind of all over the place at the moment because he rediscovered love for art through the lockdown. And so he said that you get to know someone, even if you've never met them, you really get to know them through painting their portrait. And I feel like it's the same with music. When you really start to dig into like the nitty-gritties of a song, you start to kind of really get to know it and start to understand the process of it and fall in love with it, which I think is really gorgeous. You did a beautiful, beautiful version of it there. It's really gorgeous. So I can't wait to see it on Netflix.
Oh.
You're going to share one of your own songs with us as well. What song are you going to do?
Yeah, I am. I think I was kind of going to go for an upbeat one because I feel like that last one was fairly mellow. So just change it up so we have one of each, if that's cool.
I like your thinking. All right. I'll hand over to you for the song again. We'll have another quick chat before I let you go afterwards.
Fab. All right, so this next one I'm going to play is, like Emma said, one of my own. I released this as a single in October of last year. It's the first single from my forthcoming album, which is coming out, I believe, this September. Is what we're aiming for. And it's called Ruthless. So if you want to have a listen, it's on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Music and all the rest of them. But yeah, let's have some fun. Can't stay sunny well. Too deep in the winter is coming around. So I'm running out of reasons to run, and I'm running out of seasons to grow. There must be a demon I know, got an empty seat, yeah. So let's go, 'cause I'm ruthless, Let the wind take me there. It's snowing summer, I don't belong anywhere. I'm not lost, not erased, but my roots can't be traced. I'll never stay in one place long enough. I'm ruthless, running out of reasons to stay. It's funny how time makes its way. There must be a demon to say I've got an empty seat. Yes, I do. Let the wind take me there. It's snowing summer, I don't belong anywhere. I'm not lost, not erased, but my roots can't be traced. I'll never stay in one place long enough. I'm ruthless. I'm ruthless. I'm ruthless. This is usually the audience sing back section, which is happening right now. Ruthless. Unless you're singing from wherever you are along. Ruthless. Thank you for listening. I'm ruthless.
What a fabulous song.
You.
So gorgeous.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So where are you joining us from?
I am from County Kildare. Actually, this show is made of Barretstown. Barretstown is only about a mile from my house.
Oh,
So.
wow. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Dublin. That's great. Fabulous. Yeah, this is a new initiative they have set up. It's called Busk for Barretstown, and they're trying to get as many musicians on board as possible to try help them raise funds. It's a nightmare right now for charities. Like, they can't do any of their usual fundraising efforts. So
yeah, it's awful. And Barretstown is, like, honestly, I volunteered there for some of their programs before, like week-long summer programs and stuff, and it's the most amazing charity, like just out of this world. And so yeah.
It seems really gorgeous. Have you what kind of, I don't want to say like how did you get into music, but has it been a linear path for you? Like, have you done a lot of that voluntary stuff, or what was your kind of?
No, I kind of did that like in kind of the last 5 or 6 years. I would have done quite a lot of voluntary stuff, but just in the odd week in the summer, that kind of thing. I think music for me was like, I never remember an actual point where I made a decision to like go for it. Do you know what I mean? It was just like a snowball effect. Like things just kept happening and shows kept coming in and I kept loving it. So I was just like, right, I'm just gonna keep following this for as long as I can.
Yeah, you're meeting your sister here, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the magic of a career like this, really. It's kind of, I don't know, it's semi-vocational in a way. You know, you wind up following a voice that tells you you need to be doing this sometimes a little bit. So, which is a nice thing. It's definitely a nice thing, and you're definitely in the right place. So,
No.
where can folks check out more of your stuff? I know you're releasing. You released. When did you release? There's a song called Ireland, which you released, and it's made huge waves.
Yeah. I put it out. Oh, sorry. I think I just talked over you, did I?
Oh no, you're fine.
I put it out as a video on social media, thinking nothing really of it. Because for me, like I have a whole album that's ready to go later this year, but that didn't really feel like a single. But I just felt like everything that was happening with COVID, I kind of wanted. It's a real love song to Ireland, and I thought maybe a lot of people who are abroad might like need to hear something like that, like a little hug and a squeeze from Ireland or something. So I put up the video and it just went mad, like did really well on socials, and then I released it 2 weeks ago today. Yeah, 15th of May.
Brilliant. It's sounding gorgeous and it's doing so well. It's really gorgeous to see. I mean, you've got a huge presence outside of Ireland anyway. You've got a massive fan base, kind of everywhere it seems, which is fab to see. But yeah, I suppose if folks want to hear more of your stuff, you're going to have an album out later in the year, but they can check out what you have so far on where your favorite thing to go to.
The Spotify is probably where I direct most people, only because it's what I use myself. But it's the music's on every streaming platform that there is out there, and it's on YouTube, and then on my website, which is just megan-o'neill.com with 2 L's. You can buy any of the physical CDs, but everything on social media is just under Megan O'Neill, so it should be fairly easy.
Brilliant. That's perfect. Thank you so much for joining us and for entertaining the masses. Everyone is mad about you. If to go by, so that's gorgeous. And I look forward to sharing a stage and kind of hanging out in person sometime down the line.
I know we've been talking about it for so long, so once this is over, it's happening.
Yeah, it's packed. The pact. I'll put it in my hand and shake it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Megan, and I'll see you again soon.
Thanks, Emma.
Cheers, bye. Thank you so much to Tom, who commented saying I'm a little bit quiet on the mic. I am going to just get in nice and close. Okay, I've got a couple more songs before I introduce our next guest. What am I going to do? Oh, yes. Okay, brilliant. So this is a song which is featured in loads of movies. Let me just get it up here. That's what he said. Hey. I'll tell you exactly which movies it's been in just a moment. Definitely loads. It was in Mona Lisa's Story. It was in Lost Islands. It was in Girls' Night. It was in literally the movie Forever Young. So this is Forever Young by Alphaville. My 6th year class, which is the last year of high school for anyone who's joining us who's not from Ireland, sang this at our graduation. I was raging because I wanted to do For Good from Wicked, but I was outnumbered Good choice. So this is Forever Young by Alphaville. Let's dance in style, let's dance for a while. Heaven can wait, we're only watching the skies. Hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. Are you gonna drop the bomb now? Let us die young, or let us live forever. We don't have the power, but we'll never say never. Sitting in a sandpit, life is a short trip. The music's for the sad man. Can you imagine when this race is won? Turn our golden faces into the sun. Praising our leaders, we're getting in tune. The music's played by the madman. Forever young, I wanna be forever young. Do you really wanna live forever? Forever, we'll never. Forever young, I wanna be forever young. Do you really wanna live forever? Forever, forever young. Some are like water and some like the heat. Some are a melody and some are the beat. Sooner or later they all will be gone. Why don't they just stay young? It's so hard to get old without a cause. I don't want to perish like a fading horse. Youth is like diamonds in the sun, and diamonds are forever. So many adventures couldn't happen today. So many songs we forgot how to play. So many dreams singing out in the blue. We'll let them come true. Forever young, I wanna be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Forever, we'll never. Forever young, I wanna be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Forever, oh never. Forever, forever young, I wanna be forever young. Do you really wanna live forever? Forever, we'll never. The lyrics of that song seem very poignant in light of current circumstances. I hope I'm audible and you guys can hear me. Our guest that just joined us there a minute ago was something fabulous musician. Do you go check her out? All right, I'm going to sing you guys another song and then I'm going to bring in our next guest. This song is one I played on Twitter yesterday very badly, and I'm going to play it very badly today as well. This is a song from the musical Cabaret, and there's some chords in this that I just physically cannot play. So I hope you enjoy my take on it. I feel like it's important that I show you guys that sometimes we're just shit. Maybe this time I'll be lucky. Maybe this time he'll stay. Maybe this time, for the first time, love won't hurry away. He will hold me fast. I'll be home at last. Not a loser anymore, like the last time and the time before. Everybody everybody loved me. Lady peaceful, lady happy, that's what I long to be. All the odds are in my favor. Something's bound to begin, so it's gonna happen sometime. Maybe this time I'll win. Everybody loves a winner, so nobody loved me. Oh, this is the one that caught me, yeah. Lady peaceful, lady happy, that's what I long. C sharp diminished is anyway. That's what I long to be. Well, all the odds are in my favor. Something's bound to begin, so it's gonna happen sometime. Maybe this time, I'll win. Yeah, I fucked it up exactly as much as I did last night. Today, I was dressed up as Moira Rose from Schitt's Creek. And that song was in Schitt's Creek at one point. All right, I'm going to introduce our next guest because I don't want to be taking the piss. And then I'll do a few more songs, and then some more guests will do some more songs. And I just clicked on something there that I didn't mean to click on. What happened? What did I do? The sun is shining through the window and it's blinding me. I have no idea what's going on. Okay, I'm just going to add our guest because, and hopefully I'll be able to hear him. Jesus. Yeah, today was themed day. If you haven't watched it, you must watch it. Hello, Jack O'Rourke.
Emma, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Emma?
I can.
Good.
Yeah. Up a comment on the screen by accident. Sorry.
That's okay.
There's a lovely comment saying not at all. I think that's gone. My laptop is doing this awful buffering thing where
that's all right.
Like we're robots, which is class. How were you kayaking today?
I was. I'm sorry I missed our sound check. Yeah, we had a little brush of fear with the water, but yeah, we all survived, thankfully.
Good. I'm glad. Jesus, kayaking, hazardous stuff. Were you in Cork?
Yeah, I'm in Cork at the moment, so just literally right beside the River Lee, which is amazing. And yeah, very peaceful here. Lots of time for music and muses and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
You doing a lot of writing?
I'm doing a lot of writing, yeah, and I'm enjoying hearing Emma Langford does Liza Minnelli. That was pretty epic. Well
done. One day I'll learn to play
guitar. I can play you C sharp diminished here if you want.
Thank you. There we go. I'll sample that and I'll have it for next time.
No, Jesus, you're unreal.
Thanks so much. You're as good as gold, so you are. I'll hand it over to you and we'll chat after.
Cool. So you were asking me what song, and I love so many songs from movies, but I went for a Disney classic called "Feed the Birds" from Mary Poppins. The Sherman Brothers wrote it. They wrote all of the old Disney songs, and for me, it's like a Tom Waits song structure, and that's why I picked it. So let me know if you can hear the piano. I'll just do a quick. I'll do a quick sound check. Is that all right?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Cool. the steps of St. Paul's, the little old bird woman calls in her own special way to the people she calls. Come buy my bag full of crumbs. Come feed the little birds, show them you care. And you'll be glad if you do. The young ones are quiet, the beaks are so full. All it takes is tuppence a bag. Feed the birds, tuppence a bag. Tuppence, tuppence, tuppence a bag. Feed the birds, that's what they cry, while overhead the birds fill the skies. All around the cathedral, the saints and apostles are longing to find a way. Although they're not quiet, their hungers are calling. Just listen, you'll know what they say. Though her cries are simple but few, listen, listen, she's calling to you. Feed the birds, tuppence a bag. Tuppence, tuppence, tuppence a bag. Hey, Emma. Can you hear me? Hey, what's the crack? The connection might be a bit better there.
Oh, yeah.
I hope that was heard. Could you hear it?
It was beautiful.
Oh,
Absolutely
thank you.
Gorgeous.
Nice one.
I hear what you mean actually about it being a Tom Waits song. It's the structure, the kind of the chordal changes are
Totally,
very
yeah. He was a big fan of Brecht, and I think the Sherman Brothers were too. So I think when you listen to anything pre Little Mermaid in 1989 and Disney films, the music is quite dark and lots of layers of meaning, maybe underneath it.
Absolutely. I mean, Mary Poppins had some very strange, the whole backstory. I mean, I'm sure lots of people have seen the story of the origin of the movie going to Disney and everything. It's that whole movie has so many layers of history and meaning to it.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely.
You definitely paid for that, and that performance was gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Cheers.
You're going to perform one original song for us as well.
I am. Yeah. Would you like me to do a new song?
Yeah.
I'd love that. I'm very excited.
Okay, cool. So this could be in a movie. It's a song called Opera on the top floor, and the idea came to me. I was visiting Mike the Pies, which I'm sure you've played many times yourself. It's one of my favorite venues in Ireland. And Aidan, the guy who runs that place, brought me up to the top floor, which sounds really dodgy. But he showed me the room where his granduncle managed it. Basically, his granduncle ran the pub before Aidan, and his granduncle was a really quiet, kind of retiring guy. But he collected stacks of vinyls of opera, kind of secretly. So it's kind of written from his perspective about running a bar, but having the secret side. So I'm hoping somebody will make a movie about it someday.
I love it. Of all sordid, dark secrets you have.
Yeah, well, a kind of a nice secret, because I don't know. I saw so much opera there that I love, and so I'm going to go back to the piano room again, and I hope the connection is okay. I think there's a little bit of a delay, but we'll see how it goes.
Coming across gorgeous.
Okay, nice one. That's great to hear. I forgot my iPad stand, so please forgive me. 2 seconds. I loved your version of One Day I'll Fly Away. By the way, it was amazing.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's not, but it's such a beautiful song. So you did a really beautiful version. Okay, I hope that stays. If it crashes, it will be part of the performance. Okay, so this is called Opera on the. It's called Opera on the Top Floor. Okay. Okay, this is for Aidan, if he's listening. Okay. Status quo blast from a jukebox. The lads I grew up with play a guitar conjuring youth. Hunched at the bar, I hear dreams that turn to dust, till I ring out for last call. A pint takes a minute to settle. The creamy head rises and lands like a chorus of hums. Regulars passing by to change the tune, but I ain't a conductor. I got opera on the top floor, where violins cry and arias explode. I'm riding with those Valkyries to Lohengrin. I've got my own Valhalla in the store. The boys sing Elvis and skiffle, perched with their porter like vulture chicks waiting to hatch. Leopardstown races and darts don't soothe the soul. I'm a fish out of water. A pint takes a minute to settle. It might blow the whistle if my world collided with theirs. After the final, John gave us a drunkenness and dormer, and for once I felt kinship. I got opera on the top floor, where violins cry and arias explode. I'm riding with those Valkyries to Lohengrin. I've got my own Valhalla in the store. Oh, and that opera on the top floor, when no one knows it's under lock and key. The needle, it's a vinyl, I'm away on the wind. Every secret needs a sanctuary. Hey. Yeah, man.
Gorgeous. Thank you.
Oh, thanks very much. Nice one.
And I've been in those rooms in Michael Price as well, and I see what you kind of really capture the sense of, I don't know, there's a kind of an intimacy and a drama to those rooms.
There is, and I like. No, go ahead. I keep cutting across you because of the delay.
It's killer. No, there's just that sense of history and kind of the ghosts of the place are kind of there in a way, and I think you
Totally.
capture that beautifully in that song.
No, absolutely. But I love writing songs at the moment from a different perspective other than my own. I think it's really interesting. And I think John Prine, who died recently, you're probably a fan too, but I think he does that better than anyone. Maybe Randy Newman. They're like little movies, you know. I think John Prine even wrote a song from the perspective of the actor or the Elephant Man. You know, the guy he had a rare disease. He'd like facial tumors that kept growing, and John Prine wrote a song from his perspective when he was on tour in America. You know, and I just love ideas like that because I think as songwriters sometimes we can get so self-involved, you know, in our own heads, and not to diminish that, but like I think it's really cool to have the empathy to write from other people's perspectives.
For sure, and I think that's a really interesting point, actually, something I need to kind of keep in mind for myself, because most of the songs that I like the most out of anything I've written are ones that were from someone else's perspective or were exploring
Yeah.
a different perspective. It's a really valuable thing to be able to do. Rufus Wainwright does a beautiful job of it. I know Morrissey talks, I mean, he's, you know, a bit of a controversial character, but he talks a bit about how he identifies and the voice he speaks with and the voice he sings with. And I think it's something that as songwriters, if you want to be saying something of real value, you want to be speaking for the people who can't maybe speak for themselves
Absolutely,
sometimes.
absolutely. I think if we were to go by the way Morrissey his stage persona anyway, but it would be difficult. But I'm a huge fan of him as a songwriter, you know. So I've started doing "There Is a Light That Never Goes Out." I think it's pretty cool for these times we're in.
Absolutely, very pertinent. That was really beautiful. Can people hope to hear that track elsewhere?
Yeah, totally. I've been writing a lot, as I said. So once we're out of lockdown, you know, like all of us at the moment, you've done an amazing job from the technical side of things, but I'm still pretty much a novice. But I've asked a few of my mates to help me out after lockdown to learn simple things like how to record without, you know, beyond the GarageBand kind of thing, you know, and having the right equipment to do that with an interface. So yeah, definitely. I think another album is due. I released an EP in 2019, but which did really well. But I need to do a full length album. You know, the last one was 2016, so I have about 12 songs, you know, ready to go.
I think I speak for everyone when I say I'm very excited to hear a full album out of you.
Nice one. Likewise, and I can't wait to hear all of Sowing Acorns when it comes out.
Yeah, at some point. Thank you so much for joining us, Jack, and for being
No
part
bother,
of
and
Raising
I'm sorry if I stressed you out earlier on today, but
No.
it was great to come on and sing. So thanks for having me.
You're as good as gold. I'll chat to you soon. Mind yourself.
All right, mind yourself. Be good. Take care.
Bye. What a lovely, talented, handsome man. There's like a really weird light situation happening here. I don't know if it looks the same to you guys. I'm gonna I'm gonna close a curtain. I'll be back in a second. Oh, that's a bit better. I'm actually visible now. I felt like the sun was literally staring in my window at me. Fucking pervert sun. Okay, I'm going to play you guys a couple more tunes, and then I'm going to hand you over to my next guest, who I'm delighted to have here. That was Jack O'Rourke, who was joining us from Cork. It's great that his name rhymes with where he's from. He's a fabulous songwriter and, as you heard, an incredible performer. So do go check him out. He's got some beautiful work online, and we're going to be working on a couple of collaborations as well in the next little while. So the one beautiful thing to come out of this whole lockdown situation is that I'm collaborating with artists I would not have worked with otherwise, purely out of a lack of time or lack of seeing a need for it, I suppose, or something. I honestly don't know what the logic to it would be, but anyway, gonna do a song. So seeing as Jack kicked off the Disney vibe, I'm gonna keep on the Disney vibe. I'm gonna do a song from the movie Hercules, the animated movie. I got loads of requests for this one, and I'm gonna dedicate it to Christina, who graduated today. This is I Won't Say I'm in Love from the movie Hercules. And I didn't know it very well before, and now I know it quite well because I performed it live on Twitter yesterday. If there's a prize for rotten judgment, I guess I've already won that. No man is worth the aggravation. That's ancient history, been there, done that. Don't you think you're kidding? He's the earth and heaven till you try to keep it hidden. Honey, we can see right through you, girl, you can't conceal it. We know how you feel and who you're thinking of. No chance, no way, I won't say it, no. You swoon, you sigh, why deny it? Oh, it's too cliche, I won't say I'm in love. I thought my heart had learned its lesson. It feels so good when you start out. My head is screaming, get a grip, girl. Unless you're dying to cry your heart out. You keep on denying who you are and how you're feeling. Baby, we're not lying. We saw you hit the ceiling. Face it like a grown-up. When you gonna own up that you got it bad. No chance, no way, I won't say it, no. Give up, give in, check the grin, you're in love. The scene won't play, I won't say I'm in love. You're way off base, I won't say it, no. Get off my case, I won't say it, no. Girl, don't be proud, it's okay, you're in love. Ooh. At least out loud, I won't say I'm in love. So if anyone is watching who casts for like Disney movies, hit me up. So one of the first songs I ever learned to sing, or not that I ever learned to sing, but I ever was heard singing. My mom heard me singing it in the next room when I was a kid, and she popped her head around the door and she's like, "Is that you or the TV?" So it was this song from Thumbelina. It was "Let Me Be Your Wings," or "Once There Was the Sun." It's the same melody, and I was so chuffed, And then my mom did her usual Irish mother thing of then I continued to sing really loudly, like, "Oh, I got a bit of attention, I need more." And then she popped her head around the door again. It was kind of like, "All right, okay, I get it, that's enough." It's like, right, okie dokie, it was good while it lasted. So this is "Let Me Be Your Wings." Let me be your wings, let me be your love, let me take you far above the stars. Let me be your wings, let me lift you high above. Everything we're dreaming of will soon be ours. Anything that you desire, anything at all. Every day I'll take you higher, and I'll never let you fall. Let me be your wing. Leave behind the world you know for another world of wondrous things. We'll see the universe and dance on Saturn's rings. Fly with me, and I will be your wings. Anything that you desire, anything at all, every day I'll take you higher. I'll never let you fall. You will be my wings. You will be my only love. We'll see the universe and dance on Saturn's rings. Heaven isn't too far. Heaven is where you are. Stay with me and let me be your wings. So I'm going to do one more Disney song for you guys, and then I'm going to hand you over to our next guest. I'm going to try and keep it nice and mellow for you guys tonight as well. So this is very lovely. Thank you for being here. So many fun comments. I'm glad you all like the songs and movies are. It's a nice set list. Songs from movies are the best. What was it going to be? Oh yeah. So this is from Toy Story. I think it was requested by Brian Rowe. Okay. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from a nice warm bed, just remember what your old pal said. Yeah, you've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got troubles, well, I got them too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. We stick together and we'll see it through. 'Cause you've got a friend in me. Yeah, boy, yeah, you've got a friend in me. Some of the folks might be a little bit smarter than I am, bigger and stronger too. Yeah. But none of them will love you the way I do. It's me and you, boy, and as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. Okay. So, time for our next guest. Get my headphones so I can hear her saying things. Make sure that I don't miss any of your comments. Thank you all so much for tuning in. You're all brilliant. You're all brilliant and gorgeous. So yeah. How are ya?
Hello. Hi.
Hi, Saoirse. How are things?
Good, you?
I can't complain. I can't complain. You're another lady joining us from Kildare.
Yep.
There's repping tonight. How are things there?
Peaceful, I guess. Lots of birds singing.
Oh, fab. That's the way to have it. Nice to be surrounded by nature.
Mm.
Some folks will already know what your kitchen looks like because it's in the music video for Mariana. So you're going to sing Bright Eyes for us. What kind of brought you to that song?
Well, it was my favorite film as a kid. Watership Down was, sorry. And yeah, I love everything about it, about the whole world that Richard Adams has created. So
It's pretty.
the song kind of
The
is very nostalgic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
There's a
yeah.
bit of delay here. Oh, brilliant, fabulous. Okay, I'm going to hand it over to you to sing the song. We'll have another quick chat afterwards as well. Thanks, Saoirse.
Okay. Is it a kind of dream floating out on the tide, following the river of death downstream? Or is it a dream? There's a fog along the horizon, a strange glow in the sky, and nobody seems to know where you go. And what does it mean? Oh, is it a dream? Bright eyes, burning like fire. Bright eyes, how can you close and fail? How can a light that burns so brightly suddenly burn so pale? Bright eyes. Is it a kind of shadow reaching into the night, wandering over the hills unseen? Or is it a dream? There's a high wind in the trees, a cold sound in the air, and nobody ever knows when you go. When do you start? Oh, into the dark. Bright eyes, burning like fire. Bright eyes, how can you close and fail? How can the light that burns so brightly suddenly burn so pale? Bright eyes, burning like fire. Bright eyes, how can you close and fail? How can a light that burns so brightly suddenly burn so pale? Bright eyes.
That was so beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I saw one comment here that was something along the lines of, I didn't expect to cry this much tonight. So I can only assume that's a good thing.
Sorry. It's a bit about death.
a bit, but that's it's in a nice way. Like it's lovely and therapeutic. I think it's good for people to cry that stuff out sometimes. So you did a really gorgeous job. And another lovely comment for you here saying something about Art Garfunkel. Oh yeah, Art Garfunkel. Tom Herder comment is saying, "Wow, Art Garfunkel had to see and hear this. He would be so proud of this wonderful young lady." That's quite nice.
Thank you.
Are you working on music while you're on lockdown, or how are you keeping yourself occupied?
Yeah, working on a few different projects. A close friend of mine from Japan, Yuri Ator, and I are working on an album of low battery rabbit songs, actually, to go with the theme of this. But yep, and then a solo album as well, and a video with Sophia, her second music video.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
That's savage.
How about you? What are you working on?
I'm finding it very hard to write. I haven't been writing a whole lot, but my chat there with Jack was really helpful because I think he's onto something. He made a very good point that it's good to kind of look from the perspective of other people. So I'm going to maybe start reading a bit more and kind of looking at new perspectives and try and figure out a way to write from there, because I don't feel like in my own life I have something to offer to the discourse, but if I can find someone else's voice and amplification, then I'm happy to do that. So that's the plan. You're going to sing one of your own songs now.
Yeah, a song called Breathe Easy from Lunaria.
Oh, fabulous. Okay, I'll hand you over to you, Phil.
Okay, thank you. When I knew you, you would always try to find whatever was safe, whatever was right, whatever would help me sleep at night. When I knew you, and the earth would sing with you, following close behind 100 hummingbirds in flight. They all loved you, and if I could, I'd go far from this land. There's nothing safe in loving a man. A bird will come and sing for me as people say goodbye to my body, to my body. I used to have this dream, watch the falling star crumbling like chalk in the rain. All of my memories were etched inside of me in beautiful characters no one else could see. No one else could see when I knew you. No one else when I knew you. No one somewhere just to be and to breathe easy. Breathe easy. Da-da-da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum. Da-da-da-da-dum, da-da. Breathe easy.
That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Saoirse.
Thank you, Emma. Put the guitar down.
And we had a comment from someone who's definitely partial asking, where can we buy this album?
Oh, on saoirseCaseymusic.com. Yep.
Amazing. I feel like a lot of people are going to want to check that out. And Tom Herder says it looks like you're on a. Oh no, Philip Cashin says it looks like you're on a film set. Your backdrop is very dramatic and beautiful. Is the picture, is that an original behind you?
This picture?
Mm.
This is a piece of art by Heidi Wickham.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Very gorgeous.
It's a hare. I mean, it's not a rabbit, but I feel like a rabbit and a hare might be able to relate on some level. So
I think you might be right.
It's really beautiful. Actually, I'll get it in. Sure.
Oh, it's gorgeous. That's really beautiful.
So nice.
Mm.
Okay.
And it reminds me of Watership Down, that kind of same vibe. That's really beautiful. Thank you so much, Saoirse, for being part of
Thank
tonight
you.
and hearing your music. So, folks, go and check out Lunaria on Saoirse's website, and you'll find Saoirse on all social media platforms as well. People seem to be mad about you, so I'm sure you'll get a couple of new fans out of this tonight.
Thank you, Emma. Take care.
Saoirse, you too. I'll chat to you soon. Saoirse Casey. What a beauty. We had Paddy on there a couple of weeks ago. Sophia, who's of the same household, Sophia Cadigan, made the music video for Mariana. So really all that's left is to have Aurelia, who is Sophia's little girl, on to sing a song, and then we'll have had the whole collection in. It'd be great. Thank you all so much for tuning in. You're so good. And you're all obviously very attractive people with fresh breath and clean hands. Yeah, that's as good as I am at compliments. That's about as far as I go. Okay, I'm going to sing you guys a couple more tunes. Do me a favor and share this live stream anywhere you can. Give it a push. We really want to raise loads of money for Barretstown this evening. They're they're very much in need, as are loads of charities right now. And I know that everyone is struggling and everyone has their own stuff going on. But anywhere that we can get a bit of support for these organizations, we're going to try and push it. So, all right. So I'm going to do a couple of songs. The first one is by Billy Joel. This is called Vienna Waits for You, from the film Vienna Waits for You. And from a bunch of other movies as well, I'm sure. Slow down, you crazy child. You're so ambitious for a juvenile. But then if you're so smart, tell me why are you still so afraid? Where's the fireworks to hurry about? You better cool it off before you burn it out. You got so much to do and only so many hours in a day. You know that when the truth is told that you can get what you want or you can just get old, you're gonna kick off before you even get halfway through. Ooh, when will you realize Vienna waits for you? Slow down, you're doing fine. Can't be every one of you before your time. Although it's so romantic on the borderline. Slow down, you crazy child. Take the phone off the hook and disappear for a while. It's alright, you can afford to lose a day or two. When will you realize Vienna waits for you? And you know that when the truth is told that you can get what you want, or you can just get old. Don't kick off before you even get halfway through. Ooh, why don't you realize Vienna waits for you? When will you realize Vienna waits for you? So as I'm sure you all know, we've had some dramatic, tragic, and huge occurrences in the US this week. And I wouldn't feel right if I didn't comment on it. Not that I have a whole lot to offer to the conversation, but I would like to play this next song in honor of that situation. This is Colors of the Wind from Pocahontas, and it's got a really beautiful message behind it that is universal and timeless, and that is that every single person and creature and plant on this earth is important and matters to the ecosystem and matters to the world. So this is Colors of the Wind. You think I'm an ignorant savage, and you've been so many places, I guess it must be so. But still I cannot see how the savage one is me. How can there be so much that you don't know? You don't know. You think you own whatever land you land on. The earth is just a dead thing you can claim. But I know every rock and tree and creature has a life, has a spirit, has a name. You think the only people who are people are the people who look and think like you. But if you walk the footsteps of a stranger, you learn things you never knew, Have you ever heard the wolf cry to the blue corn moon, or ask the green bobcat where he grins? Can you sing with all the voices of the mountain? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? Come run the hidden pine trails of the forest. Come taste the sun-sweet berries of the earth. Come roll in all the riches all around you. And for once, never wonder what they're worth. The rainstorm and the river are my brothers. The heron and the otter are my friends. And we're all connected to each other in a circle, in a hoop that never ends. How high does the sycamore grow? If you cut it down, then you'll you'll own its earth until you can paint with all the colors of the wind. That was Colors of the Wind from Pocahontas. And it just felt like a very apt, despite the, aside from the film theme tonight, it felt like a very apt song. Can I say I love Turkey? I love Turkey. Sure, done. Said it. Okay, I'm gonna bring in our next guest now. Delighted that this man took the time out of his busy day to come and join us. Oh, my laptop will work. That'd be even better.
Howdy.
Hi, Mike. How's it going?
I'm great. How are you, Emma? That was a gorgeous song.
Oh, thank you so much. Really kind of you. How was everything there? You're in... Whereabouts are you, actually? Are you in Clare or where are you?
I'm in Dublin, in Dean's Grange. I've been here for about 150 years.
Is that just because of the lockdown, or is that how long you've actually...
It seems like that since the lockdown, yeah.
Right. What are you doing to keep yourself entertained during the lockdown?
What have I been doing?
Mm.
I've been writing. I know you talk regularly that you're like arguing with your writing self and your muse and trying to get something, but for me it's been completely opposite. I've been writing like crazy. I've written a whole bunch of new songs. I started writing 2 shows that I've been threatening to write, and I've just put some ideas beside. So I've just been writing like I've never done before, and having not written a song for 10 years, this is really gorgeous. It's great to be back in the zone again.
That's fabulous. You've written 2 shows.
We're working on. Myself and a friend of mine are working on a musical, and we're firing through it. It's getting very exciting now, and then myself and Eleanor Shanley are working on a show about our time with Ronnie Drew. We spent 10 years with Ronnie, so we're doing a show called Remembering Ronnie, and we're going to give our how we saw Ronnie. He was a great friend of ours. So if we're going to try and just celebrate his work, his literature, his amazing personality, and he was a wonderful man.
Fabulous. And the new, the reissue of the Stockton's Wing album happened back in, was it December that it happened? How's that been going?
Jesus, we went to number 1, for God's sake. I walked into my local record shop in Dunleary and I looked up and there was top album and top CD was Stockton's Wing. I mean, that hasn't happened for 30 years. So it was amazing, and it was such a lovely trip because we got 43 tracks together. I worked very closely with the record company, with Universal, and we picked 43 of what we thought were the best because we had a lot of stuff recorded, and the reaction has been phenomenal. And we're up there on Spotify and all these crazy places that you're all talking about, like with the greatest ease. But for us oldies, it's like it's a whole new world, and it's been really, really exciting. So it's great. We're back with a bang. It's great.
It's gorgeous to see, and you know what I think is really beautiful is the generosity of spirit in the band and around the whole release. Because I know in December, the Milwaukee Irish Fest and Trad Fest and all those guys kind of worked with myself and a lot of other kind of, I suppose, relatively new artists on a version of Stockton's Wing's Beautiful Affair, which was really special to do. And anyone who went to the cinema in Dublin saw our mugs on the screen for a couple of months.
Wasn't that just gorgeous? It was gorgeous. You see, I've been working with Tradfest for a couple of years on this, and the whole idea was to bring in the artists who were performing at the festival to sing a classic song and see how they get on with it. And I love it because I work with a lot of my old friends. But I love most of all meeting new people. And I met you. And I worked with Gavin Glass. So right for the last few years, I've been working it, and I've get to know this whole new world of art that's happening in our music, because I was away for 10 years. I wasn't anywhere near the stage. So it's such a buzz for me and it's great to be here. Look, we're here tonight working because of that gig. So it's all good.
Absolutely. For sure. I won't say it's a blessing in disguise, but it's such a blessing in itself. You decided tonight to sing for us a song by the Eels.
Yeah.
You're going to do one of your own songs as well. But you said when you chose this song by the Eels that you don't like Jim Carrey. Why don't you like Jim Carrey?
Well, he just drives me nuts. I like to try and sit through a movie with him. I find him just. This movie was probably the only movie I kind of could sit through. Yes, man. But and it was really about a guy who said yes to everybody, and it was based on a book written by a Scottish comedian called Danny Wallace, and I'd read that, and for me, anytime I go to a movie and I hear Eels coming up, I'm kind of delighted because I've been a fan of Eels since their first album. I've been listening to them for years. I saw all their early gigs in Ireland. I've seen them abroad. So I love when I go into a movie, and then to hear when they were in Shrek, I thought, oh yeah, it's great. So I love Eels. I'm not a fan of Jim Carrey, or I just find him hard to take. That's all.
Fair. He's good in wasn't he in Truman Show? I think that was him as well. When he plays straight, when he's playing kind of a serious character, he's interesting because he has that manic energy behind him. But when he's playing comedic characters, it's all just a bit much.
Yeah. I kind of like him in it. I think halfway through the movie, I feel like getting a hose, like the hosing down or something.
Somebody stop him. All right, okay. I'm gonna let you play. You can play your own song, or you can play the. If you want to start with the Eels song, and we'll go on to your own song and have a chat about then after that. If that's good.
Yeah, I'll do the Eel song. Love to.
All right, thanks, Mike.
All right. So I was here in lockdown, and I had a lunchtime special called "Cooking Up a Storm," which lasted about 9 weeks. And earlier on, I started singing this song because, believe it or not, Ronnie Drew recorded a Neil song way back. I produced an album for himself and Eleanor Shanley, and I convinced him to sing Eels. Most people said I was crazy; it would never happen. But Ronnie loved this song, so I'll sing this for all you guys who just got through the lockdown. It's called "These Could Be the Good Old Days." I know I could do much of a bargain. You know I'm not what you bargained for. As the hours turn into days, pretty soon lost in the haze. Up to you and me, and who's to say these could be the good old days. I like waking up after a bad dream. Makes it feel like life ain't dead. Little kids go out to play. They're just happy it's another day. Up to you and me, and who's to say these could be the good old days. I guess I could be a quiet hero. No one knows the good I've done. You're not sure, well that's okay, 'cause I am and I'm not afraid. It's up to you and me, and who's to say these could be the good old days. I know I'm not too much of a bargain. You know I'm not what you bargained for. Right. Emma is gone. She has forsaken me. Do not forsake me, oh my darling.
I'm so sorry. My laptop freezes up and it won't let me click onto the screen to actually bring myself back.
All right.
Very annoying. That was brilliant. Really lovely.
Thank you.
I suppose it's so interesting to hear an artist like yourself covering the musical fields because they're such a distinctive sound in their own right. I would never call them folk, but hearing you perform their music, it kind of makes perfect sense, which is really interesting.
Oh, good. Because I love him as a songwriter, and I think he's a very honest songwriter, and he writes really, really beautiful songs. He writes in the heart, and it's all about him and his life and the people. And all his albums they're like personal journeys for him, and they're like memoirs of things that happened to him, like the album he did with his wife or with his sister in Electric Shock Blues. So I just love him as an artist. I love his stage shows. His stage shows change at every tour. You don't know what to expect, and the band are a hoot. And the gig is it's an exciting event.
I really must see them live sometime. I'd love to. I know that he's a fascinating character and he's kind of branched into acting there in the past couple of years as well. He's a really kind of quite a tragic sort of story over the years in various things. So I've always loved their work and I'm dying to learn Susan's House on the piano as well.
Oh, great song. That's about one of his ex-girlfriends, I think.
I think so, yeah. And just the kind of the picture he's creating it. It's so grim. But it's so beautiful at the same time. It's just a little picture of life, which is all we can hope to create really with music. And on that note, you're going to sing us one of your own songs. What song did you decide to?
I'd love to sing one of my new songs, and it kind of was written just before we went into lockdown, and then during the first weeks I started singing it at my lunchtime gig, and then it grew, and you know yourself, when you write a song, it takes a while you got to get to know your song, and I need to know my song, and it takes me ages. It takes me ages to write a song first, and then just to get into the feel of what it's all about. So this song kind of became one of our there was a lot of people tuning into me every day, and this was a song that was always requested, and I wrote it as a prayer to my mum. My mum lives in dementia, and she's deep in dementia, and I see life sometimes just as like a river that comes from the top of the mountain and finds its way to the ocean, and that's what this song is about. It's about when a river falls to the sea, and this is for my mum. She's in Ennis, and she's been well cared for by gorgeous people in Caracalla, and it's for anybody else who's living with that in their family, because it's there's a lot of us going through it, and a lot of old people going through really great difficulties. So this is for them. A river falls to the sea. River rolls on to the sea, far away from the high mountain stream, to that place where you long to be. The river rolls on to the sea, down through the hills and the glades. You roll on through sunshine and rain, Round the oak and the willow you came. Even the birds sing your name. They're singing this song for you now. In their hearts you forever live on and on. And they sing of your grace and your joy as you gently go rolling by. With a tear and a smile, the river falls to the sea. By the shoreline, ocean breeze. It's there you will set your heart free, where the river falls to the sea. So go now, your time here is done. Time to stop lingering on and on. And you'll soon feel the soft ocean breeze, where the river falls to the sea. It's where you long to be now. Roll on, roll on, yeah, roll on, roll on. Soon we will be there to breathe in the salt in the air and remember the moments we shared. So go set your sail and sail away. Sail away, you sail away, sail away. So go now, your time here is done. Time to stop lingering on and on. And you'll still feel the soft ocean breeze, where the river falls to the sea. 'Cause we're singing this song for you now. In our hearts you forever live on and on. Yeah, we sing of your grace and your joy as you gently go rolling by. With a tear and a smile, roll on by. Roll on, yeah, roll on, roll on. A river rolls on to the sea. A river rolls on to the sea. Yes, a river rolls on to the sea. A river falls to the sea.
That was absolutely gorgeous. Thank you so much for sharing that. So that's one you've written recently enough during lockdown.
Yeah, one of about 5.
Really beautiful. Is it likely to go on CD, or have you a plan for it, or is it just one you're celebrating at the moment?
I've been talking to the Forget Me Nots choir, who are here in Dublin, and Brendan Grace used to do a lot of work with them, and I did the concert for Brendan in September in remembrance of Brendan. And I spoke with Nora, the music boss of the Forget Me Nots, and it's a dementia and Alzheimer's based choir. So we're thinking about doing that maybe before the Christmas, and then I'm going to try and get the song away somewhere, maybe over to America, and see if if I can get a couple of covers in it, because I'm not sure if I want to go in and record. It's just I guess I'm beyond recording at this stage. Maybe I will record here at home and put it out, but I think I'd like to get the songs out into people and maybe get them to sing it, and I can sit at home here and enjoy myself. That's the plan.
That's the way. And it's nice to be in a position to be able to kind of celebrate the story of a song and not feel like that kind of pressure to go out and record it as well. It's quite gorgeous. A lot of people kind of saying that you've vocalized or kind of put into words very beautifully the experience of living with someone with dementia and caring for someone with dementia. You put that very beautifully. And
that's
there's a
very
request
kind.
here to Chase the Moon.
What?
There's a request for you to perform Chase the Moon.
Chase the Moon. Really?
Mhm.
That's another one of the new songs.
Ah, you've got a couple of kind of current True Blue fans.
Wow.
Then.
Oh, wow.
For it, actually, if you wouldn't mind.
I'd love to do it. Oh, yeah. Which is that okay? Do you want me to do another song?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
happy days.
All right, I'll hand it over to you again.
Great.
You haven't been following, so you're doing live streams yourself on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants to catch Mike's own live streams, just head to Mike Hanrahan on Facebook and you'll find them. But for anyone who hasn't been watching them, you might explain what Chase the Moon is about and kind of how it came about.
Yeah, I will do. A friend of mine went into hospital just before lockdown, and I met him in a hotel room where we were working on a couple of songs. And he told me that he was going into hospital for a very serious operation, a cancer operation. And I just saw something in his eyes that, like, there was a fear in his eyes, but he had kind of brought the fear out by telling me, and we spoke about it at length. And then the following morning, I was driving down to see my mum in Ennis, and by the time I got to Port I had the first verse of this song written, and I had it recorded into my phone in the car, you know, and that was the start of it. So I knew then I had something to work on, and I worked on it, and then worked on it for weeks, and then when we went into lockdown, it was a great opportunity for me to finish it off and sing it. I started singing it every day, and then people were just requesting the song, so it was really beautiful. I love the song.
That's beautiful. What a gorgeous story. And how was your friend doing?
Great. He's fantastic. I was talking to his son only last week, and he said he's out and he's about and he's flying, and he's great.
Great to see the story. Right, I'll hand it over to you. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you very much, Emma. Okay. I have to be in tune for this because I heard people talking about demented sevenths and diminished flattened fifths chords and everything, so I don't want them to be catching me out on any tuning. Chase the Moon. If you're at home and you catch on to the chorus, please sing along. Heave away and haul away, Macara. Heave away beyond this raging tide. And when we hear the oarsmen singing, land ahoy, heave a sigh. When we reach the swells out there across the water, far beyond the foam we'll rise and fall. Let mercy be the wave to take us home. So let's roll, 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 and chase the moon, chase the moon, chase the moon, chase the moon. Let's chase the moon, let's chase the moon, chase the moon. So let's heave away and haul away, Macara. Heave away and soon we'll touch the sky. When we hear the oarsmen singing, land ahoy, heave a sigh. And chase the moon, chase the moon, chase the moon, chase the moon. Let's chase the moon. Let's chase the moon. Chase the moon. Deep into your eyes, the fear you no longer hide deep inside. Let me take you now, and nature's fickle breath upon your brow. Yeah, you wear it like a crown. Whoa. Let's chase the moon. Let's chase the moon. Chase the moon. Let's chase the moon. Let's chase the moon. Chase the moon. Let's chase the moon. Let's chase the moon. Chase that moon. Chase the moon. So let's heave away and haul away.
I can see why everyone wanted to hear it.
Thank you.
It's absolutely beautiful, really beautiful. What was I going to ask you? Oh yeah, what's the one thing you're looking forward to most when all of this is over?
I'm desperate for a gig. I'd even settle for a sound check. I just can't. Yeah. I just can't wait to go back and connect with the people, with the audience. And I was promoting my book on a book tour, and it was just me, my guitar, and my stories, my memoir, and telling stories and singing my songs. And it was getting on a roll, and then it was just taken away. So for me, I just want to get back and sing to people. That's all I want to do. I will never refuse a gig, ever, ever, ever again.
You heard it here first, folks.
It's true.
There's a few heads in the comments that are saying, we're going to have to get him to Cork, we're going to have to get him to here, there, and everywhere. So you're in demand, Mr. Hanrahan, anyway. There was one beautiful comment, and we're going to find it in a second. Someone who saw you back when you started out with Stockton's Wing at the Bell Table, I believe, which I would presume is in Limerick, unless there's another Bell Table. Brita Zito commented saying, I'm here a bit late. I see your guest who I remember when he was just starting out and with Stockton's Wing, and they just formed. I was a nursing student at the regional, and he worked in one of the offices there. I think I might have heard him play at the Bell Table Arts Centre. I don't know if it's still there, but we're talking 35 to 40 years ago.
The Bell Table is still there. It's back working again. It's on that main street, and it was a powerful theatre. It wasn't me. She saw. Obviously, she saw me, but obviously she didn't notice me. It was my brother she noticed, because he was the guy that works in the hospital. So, darn it. But the Bell Table was run by Bree Jukes, and she gave us our first real start. In fact, on one of our earlier albums, we did a piece called The Bell Table Waltz. It was in honour of that beautiful, beautiful venue. And it was places like that gave us a great start. We were playing a music that was very different to what was normally coming from traditional bands. Now it's kind of normal, but when we were doing it, it was very different. So to have somebody like theatre in Limerick saying, yeah, come in and perform your crazy music here, we'd love to hear you. That was such a great thrill for us. So we have great fond memories of the Bell Table.
That's fabulous. That's really gorgeous to hear. I'm going to give an honourable mention here to Brendan O'Shucken, Roy Buckley, or Bernard O'Shucken, sorry, Carmel Lonergan. There's a few heads in the comments now that are all kind of busy following your usual live stream over on your own page, and they're commenting away and just giving you virtual applause and everything. So you've got an adoring audience.
And that's nice to hear. And Roy is from Cork. He's He's a great singer. He does his own gigs himself. He's a wonderful, great friend of mine, and he's up there gigging away, and he just can't wait to get back live again either. So thank you.
I can appreciate that. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Mike. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you and hearing your songs, and I'm excited to see them all out there on a CD or so, where we can all hear them a million times. And beyond that, I'm looking forward to sharing a stage with you again. And
Emma, can I just say thanks for inviting me on, and thanks for the last 12 months. I love the way our friendship is developing, and in music and in our chats and everything. And we will be doing work together. We know we will be in the coming year. And what you do here on Friday is just a joy. And I'm here. I've been here quite a few Fridays, so it's a gorgeous way to spend a Friday evening. And it's my pleasure to be here. Absolute pleasure.
You're too good. And we're going to have your pal Leslie on next week, all going well.
Oh, woohoo!
All going well.
Brilliant.
We'll have Leslie Dowdall on next week, singing
Brilliant.
songs of our favourite songwriters. It's going to be a bit of fun. And yeah, you've rounded the night off gorgeously. Thank you for joining us, and I'll chat to you later.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks, Mike.
Bye.
Bye. None other than Mike Hanrahan to finish the night out. I'm going to play you guys a couple more songs. If you have any requests, throw them into the comments. I'm going to hold on to you for a little while and keep doing this stream because I'm quite eager to make sure that we hit our target. And if we don't hit it tonight, I'm going to do another stream tomorrow at some point or sometime over the weekend and drive the donations up so we can make a load of money and donate it to Barretstown because they really desperately need the funds. And I'm at home anyway, and I'm playing music anyway, so I'm happy to do it. And of course, tonight there will be funds going to support the artists involved as well, because artists need to make a living. So do please chip in. The link to donate is in the description of this video at the top. And whatever platform you're on, if you're on YouTube, it's in the description at the bottom. If you're on Twitter, the link is there at the end of the description. So while I have you, I'm going to do this song from, where are we? This is from The Little Mermaid. Now, this is one of the songs that I stepped into a studio for the first time to sing this. And I had vocal nodules when I sang this for that recording. And I remember a friend at the time that I recorded a duet of this with. We listened back to the recording and she kind of cackled gleefully at how I sounded like an 80-year-old woman singing, which was heartbreaking at the time, but actually the wake-up call I needed to realize that I had vocal nodules. So thank you. Look at this stuff, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who had everything? Look at this trove, treasures untold. How many wonders can one cavern hold? Looking around here you'd think, sure, she's got everything. I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I've got who's its and what's its galore. You want thingamabobs? I've got 20. But who cares? No big deal. I want more. The page just jumped. I want to be where the people are. I want to see them dancing, walking around on those, what do you call it? Feet, flipping your fins, you don't get too far. Legs are required for jumping, dancing, strolling along down a, what's the word again? Street. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun, wandering free. Wish I could be part of your world. What would I give if I could live out of these waters? What would I pay to spend a day warm on the sand? Betcha on land, they understand. understand that they don't reprimand their daughters, bright young women, sick of swimming, ready to stand, and ready to know what the people know. Ask them my questions and get some answers, like what is a fire and what is it? What's the word? Burn. When's it my turn? Wouldn't I love to explore the shore up above, out of the sea? Wish I could be part of that world. All right, so let's see what we have. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight, and thank you to my special guests. We had Mike Hanrahan, we had Jack O'Rourke. Mike was joining us from Dublin, Jack was joining us from Cork, and we had Saoirse Casey joining us from Kildare, and we had Megan O'Neill joining us from Kildare as well. 4 extraordinary songwriters and fabulous musicians who sang songs from their various famous movies. Some of them from their favorite artists, and I've got a couple more songs for you tonight. I'm going to do one song of my own, seeing as everyone has done one song of their own, and there's been a couple of requests. Before I do my own song, though, I'm going to do this song, which is by the Cranberries, and this song has featured in tons of films because it's a classic. One of these weeks, I'm going to do songs from TV, theme tunes, that kind of stuff. It's going to be fun. Oh, my life is changing every day, in every possible way. Oh, my dreams, never quite as it seems, never quite as it seems. I know I felt like this before, now I'm feeling it even more, because it came from you. And then I open up and see the person falling hears me, a different way to be. Impossible to ignore, impossible to ignore. And they'll come true, impossible not to do, impossible not to do. And now I tell you openly, you have my heart, so don't hurt me. What I couldn't find, totally amazing mind, so understanding and so kind. You're everything to me. Oh, my life, changing every day, in every possible way. Oh, my dreams, never quite as it seems, 'cause you're a dream to me, dream to me, dream to me. it wouldn't be a sing song without some cranberries, and it wouldn't be any show hosted by me without a healthy dose of Irish music. I'm going to do 2 more songs for you guys. If you haven't chipped in yet, I would highly recommend that you do. I'm going to throw in the link to the comments one more time. Do please feel free to share it around and let people know about tonight's stream. It means a lot. And everything that you chip in is going directly to the artists and to the cause. So I might jump online again over the weekend and do another stream or 2 just to up the donations, because it's very important that that we raise loads of money for this fabulous cause. All right, what am I going to do? I'm going to sing this song. This beautiful, beautiful song. I think it's to do. What key am I going to do it in? I think I'll do it up here. I haven't done this song in forever, but it's gorgeous. Okay, here we go. This is Wichita Lineman by Glenn Campbell and Jim Webb. I'm a lineman for the county, and I drive the main road, searching in the sun for another overload. I hear you singing in the wire, I can hear you through the wire, and the Wichita lineman is still on the land. I know I need a small vacation, but it don't look like rain. And if it snows, that south won't ever stand the strain. And I need you more than want you, and I want you for all time. And the Wichita lineman is still on the land. And I need you more than want you, and I want you for time. And the Wichita lineman is still on the land. The Wichita lineman is still on the line. A bit rough and bumpy, but so is life. I'm going to sing one more song for you guys. There's been a few requests for my own song, The Winding Way Down to Kells Bay. So I'm going to sing that for you guys. And thank you again for being here tonight. being part of these streams and throwing comments in and liking and sharing it's almost as good as playing a real gig and having an audience. We have a fabulous sing song coming up next week where we're going to be singing the music of our favorite songwriters, so don't miss it. So this is the winding to Kells Bay. By the way, if you guys do wind up singing along at home, I'd love if you'd record yourselves and send it to me, because I'd love to see you singing. So I wrote this song in 2018, just after my grand uncle Eamon Langford died. He was based in South Kerry, Cahersiveen. The particular place he lived was Kells Bay. You might have heard of Kells Bay House and Gardens if you're into your gardening. It's an absolutely extraordinary place to visit. Gorgeous exotic plants and trees that are just in full bloom. It's absolutely stunning. And where he lived, if you haven't been to my gig and you haven't heard this story, he lived on this hill. So when you come out of Cahersiveen and before you hit Glen Bay, you're on this windy kind of, a road, but a cliff road, and you can see the ocean for as far as the eye can see is the ocean, and little land masses, little islands everywhere. And there's a point where you come to Golden's. It's a post office, newsagent's restaurant kind of place that overlooks the sea. But when you get there, you turn right and you drive down. And it's this real like twisty, turny kind of little bowline heading down toward the sea. And it's all covered over with trees. It's a little bit overgrown. Google Maps wouldn't show it to you. And before you hit Kells Bay House and Gardens, which is down toward the end of that road, and just before the sea, there's a yellow house on a hill, a little yellow cottage. Maybe it's painted now. And that's where my uncle Eamon lived. And he's had that house since the 60s. Himself and his late wife Breed moved in there in the 60s. And they never changed the decor. They had yellow walls, red radiators, this like red, brown carpet, all the same old furniture for years and years. And so in 2018, I was visiting my granduncle Eamon. We didn't get to visit him as often as we'd like, but I was there with my dad and my mom, and we were hanging out for a few days, and I had decided, right, I'm finally going to take some time off. I'm going to read some books. I'm not going to worry about work for a couple of days. And I went and I sat by the sea and I just read. I switched off. I turned my phone off. I didn't do anything. But I knew, in about 3 or 4 days' time, I was going to have to get to Killarney. So I was going to need a lift to get to Killarney, and it was agreed that Eamon was going to bring me to Killarney to get the bus because I needed to go to Dublin. And so it was the day had come when I was going to have to, it was actually the day before the day that I was going to have to go to Killarney. We all went to the Corner House, which is a pub up in Cahersiveen, which is the nearest town or village. There's a pub called the Corner House, and we went in there for the monthly sing-song, and every month all of these people would gather, they'd get together and they'd play songs. And what they did was they'd bring a song each that was about the place. So it was a song that celebrated the locality and the people. They wanted to distill and instill a sense of local tradition. Everyone had to have their song learned off by heart, and they would do this kind of a song circle. It was really gorgeous. And my uncle Eamon wanted me to come to this sing-song for as long as I can remember. Every phone call I had from him, he'd say to me, will you come? Will you come to Cahersiveen and come to the pub, come to the Corner House and meet Sean Garvey and meet Leisha Egan? And, he wanted me to meet all of his friends who are extraordinary musicians by all accounts. He'd never stopped talking about them. And so this one night, I finally made it to the sing-song. And I was really apprehensive about joining in because I don't know local songs, and I didn't want to break with tradition, and I didn't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable, or like they were in the wrong place. So I didn't really want to partake. But he kept, every time, you know, they go around the room and everyone would take turns singing songs, and someone would go get a pint and come back, and then someone would ask if you wanted to drink, and they come back. And I wound up with 3 pints of Guinness in front of me at one point. And Eamon was there with 3 glasses of red wine because everyone was doing these rounds. And I kept learning to sing, and I kept making excuses not to. Like, you know, I had to take a phone call, or I suddenly needed to go to the loo, or I wanted to go to the bar myself, or just get some air. And, you know, people must have thought I had a tiny bladder or some kind of emergency happening that I needed many phone calls. But eventually Eamon twigged what I was doing. And what Eamon would do at these sing-songs was he'd have a tiny little golden bell. And if people were getting a bit too chatty, he'd ring the bell to tell everyone to shut up. Kind of the real moon Thor, which is Irish for teacher. And he'd be the MC for the night. So he'd kind of point the bell at whoever was coming up next, slightly threatening. I was there with my mum and my dad, and you know, they started to twig what was happening, and that I was kind of trying to shirk my musical responsibilities. So there came a point toward the end of the night, it was coming up on 2 o'clock in the morning, I'd say, and Eamon, with his little golden bell, rang it and told everyone to shut up, and he said, right, I'll sing a song. And then Emma will sing a song. And that was it. I had to then, because it was a pact that was made. He was going to sing a song, and then I was going to sing a song. And I can't quite remember what he sang on the night. It could have been The Castle of Dromore, or it could have been We Run Them In, which is a musical theatre song. I think it's from Pirates of Penzance, maybe something else. But anyway, I agreed to sing a song. So I sang Shúnaroon, the Clannad version. It's a beautiful old trad song. There's loads of versions of it. Moira Nicowleaf has a version of it as well. And then I sang my own song, You Are Not Mine. And Eamon was thrilled. He was thrilled. And I think she was a Japanese girl there with us at the time as well, and she was so excited to be part of a session, and she had a tin whistle that she was trying so hard to play along with us on, and she couldn't. She just didn't know how to play it. But she had spirit, and that was the main thing. And everyone was very open to her being there and being part of it and being excited about it, which was gorgeous. So anyway, the night came to a close eventually. The bell was rung and we all headed away. We drove back down to Eamon's house, down the winding road, down to Kells Bay, and we turned in for the night. We woke up the next morning. The sun was shining. Scorching hot day in Carsavine. And every day Eamon would, as much as possible, go for a swim in the sea. He didn't swim so much as just kind of waded out, floated. My dad does the same thing. And the two of them would often go in together for a swim. And this was the day that I was going to have to go back to Killarney. So I went down to the sea, took off my shoes, put them on a ledge, and I sat back and had a bit of a read and just chilled out and took in some sun, conscious that I was going to have to head to Killarney soon. And my dad came down in the car down to the water side, and he picked me up and brought me back up to the house so I could pack. And I realised when I got up to the house that I'd left my shoes behind. So Dad went back down to get them from me. I had these little sandals that I loved. Still love, they're gorgeous. But Dad went down to get them for me. And when he did, he met Eamon down at the sea, and they had a bit of a chat. And then Dad came back up to the house again. And we were waiting for Eamon to come back up to the house to bring me to Killarney, because it was agreed that Eamon was going to do the driving. And we heard ambulances passing. We didn't think anything of it. The next thing we got a phone call, and we heard that Eamon had taken a bit of a fall. And so it turned out that Eamon had a heart attack there in the sea that day. The scorching hot weather and the cold water and a weak heart don't mix. So we lost my grand uncle Eamon that day. And in the following week or so, of course, we had the funeral, and everyone living locally made us feel so welcome and like we were part of the community and like we were family, which I think is a memory I'll never quite lose. And after that happened, and I was asked to sing at the funeral, and at the funeral I sang the song that Eamon had played at the sing song, and I sang with Sean Garvey, and we played together, and what Eamon would have loved more than anything was to have brought people together. So that was, his sort of almost last touch of magic, just getting people together to sing songs together. So in the following few days, I felt like I wanted to write something to honor him, and to honor not just him, but the place and the people that had touched me so deeply, had become such a part of my life in such a short amount of time. So I wrote this song, The Winding Way Down to Kells Bay. And when I wrote it, I knew that I wanted to put in some Irish language, because Eamon was a Muintor. He was an Irish teacher. He taught geography and Spanish and Latin. And I think he taught Irish, maybe he didn't. But he was a firm lover of Irish anyway. And he would have set up a lot of schools in Cahersiveen. He was an entrepreneur and an innovator. And a lover of music, as is evident. So I wanted to write something that celebrated Irish tradition, the Irish language, and that celebrated him and Cahersiveen, and was part of maybe something that could be sung at that sing song in future. So, all that said, you've gotten the long story. Usually I tell the short story. All that said, here is The Winding Way Down to Kells Bay. Oh, the road stretches out before your feet on the winding way down to Kells Bay, and the golden sun sets like no other, they say, on the winding way down to Kells Bay, where sorrows met with smiling eyes, and a great black cloak brushed with stars for a sky, and the old trees leaning there to whisper a tale on the winding way down to Kells Bay. There's a song in the heart of the people you meet on the winding way down to Kells Bay. Yes, a joke to be shared and a drink to be drank on the winding way down to Kells Bay, and the green Kerry hills overlooking the sea, and the fuchsias are blooming so brightly and sweet, and the ocean could carry our worries away on the winding way down to Kells Bay, on the winding way down, on the winding way down, on the winding way down to Kells Bay, where the ocean could carry our worries away on the winding way down to Kells Bay. There's a saint on the hillside at Yachtias Biagbui on the winding way down to Kells Bay. Lamistock led the story was Lake the Ski on the winding way down to Kells Bay. And when the bell rings, then we'll all head away on the winding way down to Kells Bay, where the ocean could carry our worries away on the winding way down to Kells Bay. And we'll stop for the chat and the old cup one day on the winding way down to Kells Bay, and the golden sun sets like no other, they say, on the winding way down to Kells Bay. Yes, the ocean could carry our worries on the winding way down So that was the winding way down to Kells Bay. I hope you enjoyed tonight's sing song. Today is my other uncle, would have been my other uncle's birthday. So I don't know. It feels ridiculous sometimes to post anything on social media, on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, commemorating someone. You know, I mean, how much of a connection does the other world have with the internet? But I think it's important to put things out to the universe. So wherever my other uncle Christy is, I hope he's at peace and he's happy. Sending love to him. And I'm sending love to everyone right now. It continues to be a difficult time. I've been having some really interesting conversations about grief and about loss. And a very talented and intelligent woman, Jen Ronan, said it to me in a way that I haven't heard it before, which is that we die as often as we're born. And we should talk about it and we should be open about it. So I think that's quite a gorgeous sentiment. There is beauty in acknowledging the fatality of life. So I think it's important to have music that kind of recognizes people and celebrates people, and it's good to put it out into the universe when we want to connect with someone. Thank you for being part of tonight, and I hope I'll see you again next week. I do intend on doing another couple of little live streams around the place. I'll keep the PayPal link open until Monday. Thank you for joining us. And thank you to my special guests, Mike Hanrahan, who was extraordinary as always, Megan O'Neill, who was extraordinary as always, Jack O'Rourke, who was extraordinary as always, and Saoirse Casey, who was extraordinary as always. Do please go check all of them out, visit their social media, buy their music, support them. They're all brilliant and very generous spirits. I'll see you next week, guys. Take care, mind yourselves, and if you need help,